Listen closely. Your attachment is your cage. Every time you react to a critic, obsess over a past failure, or cling to a person who no longer serves your future, you are bleeding power. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who wants nothing from it. Today, we kill the version of you that is controlled by external circumstances. We are building a mind that is objective, unshakable, and free. You're not here to cope, you are here to detach. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Trap of Emotional Investment. Listen carefully. We have been lied to. From the time you were a child, you were told that the secret to success was to care more. You were told that passion is the engine of achievement. You were told that if you just want it badly enough, if you invest every ounce of your soul into the outcome, the universe will somehow reward your intensity. That is a lie. In fact, that lie is the very thing keeping you weak. In the world of high-stakes performance, caring is often just another word for attachment, and attachment is a trap. When you care too much about the outcome, you create a state of hyper-attachment. You become desperate. You become needy. And in any environment, whether it's a boardroom, a relationship, or a battlefield, the person who is most attached to the outcome is the person with the least amount of power. You have a choice. You can continue to let your emotions dictate your worth, or you can learn the art of the mission. Think about the way most people live. They wake up and check their results. If the numbers are up, they are happy. If the numbers are down, their entire day is ruined. They have outsourced their internal peace to a spreadsheet. They have given their power away to external variables they cannot control. This is the trap of emotional investment. When you invest your emotions into things you cannot control, you are choosing to be a victim. That's the key. High performers do not care in the way you think they do. They execute. They don't get excited when things go well, and they don't get depressed when things go wrong. Why? Because they know that emotion is a filter that distorts reality. When you are hyper-attached, your judgment is clouded. You see what you want to see, not what is actually there. You ignore the red flags because you care too much about the project to let it fail. You stay in the toxic relationship because you care too much about the history to let it go. You hold on to the losing trade because your ego is so invested in being right that you would rather go broke than admit you were wrong. It's not lack of passion, it's about the discipline of detachment. Look at the world of professional trading. This is the ultimate laboratory for emotional control. Imagine two traders. The first is an amateur. He buys a stock because he believes in the company. He's done his research, sure, but he's also attached his identity to the trade. He wants to be the guy who sees the future. When the stock starts to drop, he doesn't sell. He tells himself it's just a dip. He cares about the company. He's loyal to his decision. He watches his capital evaporate because he is married to the stock. His emotional investment has blinded him to mathematical reality. Now look at the professional. The professional has zero emotional ego. He enters the trade with a plan. If the stock hits his stop loss, he sells. He doesn't mourn. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't hope for a recovery. He cuts the loss instantly because he has zero attachment to being right. He only has an attachment to his process. He understands a fundamental truth that you must burn into your brain. Care about the mission, not the emotion. The mission for the professional is the preservation of capital. The emotion is the desire to be right. He kills the emotion to save the mission. You don't need their permission to start operating this way. You don't need the world to be fair, and you don't need people to understand why you've suddenly become so cold. It isn't about being a robot. It's about being an operator. A surgeon who cares too much about the patient might shake hands when the pressure is on. The surgeon who is detached, who sees the patient as a series of biological problems to be solved, is the one who saves the life. Their detachment is their gift. Every time you feel that surge of anxiety, ask yourself, am I focused on the mission or am I drowning in the emotion? If you are obsessed with what people think of you, you are emotionally invested in their opinion. You are giving them power over your state of mind. Stop. Care about the mission, not the emotion. The mission is your growth. The emotion is your social anxiety. If you are paralyzed by the fear of failure, you are emotionally invested in a future that hasn't happened yet. Stop. Care about the mission, not the emotion. The mission is the work in front of you. The emotion is a ghost. Repetition is the mother of all skills. Say it until it becomes your default setting. Care about the mission, not the emotion. When you strip away the emotional layers, you are left with the raw data of your life. You can finally see the path forward because you're not looking through the fog of your own feelings. You start making decisions based on logic, strategy, and long-term domination. You stop reacting to the temporary weather of your moods and start focusing on the permanent climate of your character. This is the first step towards freedom. Most people are heavy. They are weighed down by the stuff of their lives, their grudges, their hopes, their desperate need for things to go a certain way. To win, you must become light. You must be able to drop anything at a moment's notice. You must be able to walk away from any deal, any person, and any idea that is no longer serving the mission. You have a choice. You can be the person who is controlled by their heart, or you can be the person who is guided by their purpose. One is a slave, the other is a sovereign. It is time to audit your investments. Look at where your energy is going. If you are spending your nights ruminating on a conversation that happened 3 days ago, you are over-invested. If you are terrified of losing your current position, you are over-invested. You are trading your mental clarity for emotional noise. It is a bad trade. It is a losing trade. From this moment on, your loyalty is to the mission. If the mission requires you to be disliked, so be it. If the mission requires you to walk alone, so be it. If the mission requires you to admit you were wrong and start over from scratch, you do it without a second thought. Why? Because you have mastered the art of letting go. You have realized that your emotions are just biological signals. They are not commands. You hear them, you acknowledge them, and then you return to work. You are no longer a passenger in your own mind. You are the pilot. That's the key. Master the trap of emotional investment by refusing to play the game. Stand back, observe, detach. You have learned to stop bleeding power through your feelings. You have realized that caring is often just a mask for weakness. Now that your vision is clear and your mind is quiet, we can address the next layer of your armor. Your emotions are under control. Now we must ensure your ego doesn't lead you back into the trap of seeking external validation.